I am Dr. P.C. Basak, Professor of Management, School of Management Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University. I am going to deliver 2 lectures on strategic management. The objective of these 2 lectures is to give a good overview about the strategic management. So first slide is about the strategic management. What we call that concern, this subject is concerned with the strategic behavior of complex organization in turbulent environment. Organization, as it grows, it becomes more and more complex. Most of the large organizations, they are in the different fields of business, and business environment is also going to be changed at a very fast rate. At least this is happening in the last 25 years. So any concern needs to respond to that changing environment, which is called as turbulent environment, with their strategic behavior. Now these changes, why it is changing? This changes due to different reasons, and what kind of changes it is occurring. Growth in the novelty of change. Change is always happening in the environment, but during the last 25 years, these are the characteristics of this change, that growth in the novelty of change, growth of strategic intensity of environment, increase in speed of environmental change, growing complexity of the environment. These are the 4 characteristics of these changes that has happened during the last 25 to 30 years. So sometimes it is called change itself is constantly changing, or change has always been accelerating. Some examples is that our speed with which we can travel, that is changing at a very fast rate. Speed with which we can calculate, that computer speed is changing or increasing at exponential rate. Change with which we can communicate, change with which we can produce, and change also our consumption pattern. Now, unique aspect of this change is the technological and social changes that has been accelerating continuously. And this creates certain problem for any organization, its adaptability to the environment. Until recently, it was slow enough to enable the people to adapt, and small occasional adjustment would have been sufficient to adapt this kind of changes, and delays in responding to it can be very costly, even disastrous, the rate at which we are changing. So companies are going out of business every day because they have failed to adapt it, they have adopted too slowly. One of the example in our country is that Premier Automobiles. Everybody knows that for the last 40-50 years we have only the 2 varieties of the automobiles. One is Ambassador, another is Premier. Fiat, subsequently Premier Automobiles. The moment Maruti entered into the field, the way it has behaved in 80s decade, and subsequently it has been abolished from the market in 90s decade. So the reason must be they have failed to adapt to the changing environment, they have adopted too slowly. So its survival itself becomes a problem. Another is that adaptation to the current rapid changes requires frequent and large adjustments. How you do this adjustment? and what we do for this adjustment. That is the very, very important factors. At least Premier Automobiles could not respond to these two criteria so that it can survive. So ultimately, it has adopted the death in the market. So one of the doyen of management scenarios that Peter Drucker, he has mentioned, managers must now manage discontinuities. There are certain technological innovation that creates certain discontinuity with the past, and it is a great leap forward for in that field if somebody is already in that business to adopt that kind of changing environment. So either what we do, either we do not respond at all, or we do not respond quickly or effectively enough so that we can remain in the business. And also another mention that Alvin Toffler, he has written way back in 81 that future shock. In that he has mentioned paralysis is the phase of change and demanding change, future shock. So to absorb this future shock, any concern or organization, they have to respond strategically to remain first alive, survival drive, and then the growth. So the rate of change increases. As the rate of change increases, the complexity of the problem that faces us also increases. The more complex these problems are, the more time it takes to solve them. The more the rate of changes increases, the more the problem that faces us change, and shorter is the life of the solution. And that you can see that most of the commodities whose base technology is electronics technology, the way electronics technology is developing in the last 10 years, within 2 years all the product life cycle continuously it is shortening. So we face this, due to these changes, our solution, it also lasts for a shorter time. As a result, we are falling further and further behind our times. So what is the solution for that? Company has to survive. They have to remain in the business. What is the solution for that? The solution to the problems created by accelerating changes. One is the improved forecasting, another is the learning, and last one is the adaptations. Unless these three are managed properly, no organization can survive in that business for a longer period. So what is happening? Most of the available theoretical insights are partial, refracted through optic of particular theoretical discipline. So complex behavior of the organization requires a multidisciplinary explanation. Unless we are able to synthesize many of the ideas, no organization is going to survive. So now we come to the certain definition given by important personalities of this field. The word strategic management has been coined from the Greek word strategia, means art and science of directing military forces. Ansap, H. Eger Ansap, one of the person who has written the book on corporate strategy way back in 1965, and he has mentioned the concept of strategic management as the concept of firm's business. Another important person is Kenneth Andrews, who has mentioned it as organization strategy can be seen as optimal match between environmental opportunities and threats and organizational strength and weaknesses. So of course Peter Drucker has also mentioned in a different way, and he wrote an article in 1994 in Harvard Business Review that mentioned as the theory of business. Strategy is considered with the theory of business. Kenichi Ohime is another personality who is with McKinsey, the consultancy firm, who is famous for the strategic consultancy. He wrote a book first in Japanese, and then it has been translated in early 80s in English. The name of that book is The Mind of Strategies. He has mentioned in that book that strategy is defined as a way in which corporation endeavors to differentiate itself positively from the competitors, using its relative corporate strength to better satisfy customer needs. If you imagine the automobile sector in our country, it was dominated by two firms, Hindustan Motors and Premier Automobiles. We have Ambassador has survived from the early 1950s till now it is in the market. But the moment in mid-80s, Maruti came and some firm could able to respond, some could not respond. And those who could not respond, they don't survive today. So this is the mention by Kenichi Ohime. And another personality is Henry Mintzberg, who has written so many articles. Yes, how to? Please talk. Port Blair.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, how can we conceive upon a strategic management plan when we believe on one hand towards the theory of changing time,
Yes.
like change management vis-a-vis strategic management, conceptualization of strategic management vis-a-vis the change of time?
You see, change of management is a different thing. I am not talking. We are not talking about the change of management. Change of management is a decision of the director boards. They change the management structure, many other things. Similarly, we call it is another area of the management is the management of change. So it is a management of change is one of the part of strategic management. But it is not the whole part of the strategic management. Strategic management constitutes many other things, and whatever the plan ultimately we devise or this strategy we are going to adopt in the next 5 years, that requires many kind of changes in the organization. So change management usually deals with that aspects of the strategic management. I hope I could able to answer your question. Okay. So Henry Mintzberg is another person who has written widely many thought-provoking articles in Harvard Business Review and many other journals like Long Range Planning, Strategic Management. So he has mentioned that strategy should be understood as a pattern or perspective which emerges through the stream of significant corporate decision. It is true that corporate body of any organization, they take various kinds of decisions. So pattern of or perspective of a stream of significant corporate decision, that constitutes the strategy. He also mentioned another thing very interesting, that is strategy is to the organization what personality to the individuals. So there are many other definitions can be given, but I have only chosen to give few definitions, not everything. One can find out from many other books that what other authoritative persons have mentioned about this strategy. The subject of the strategic management used to be taught, what we know today as strategic management, traditionally used to know as a business policy. So those who are the student in 25, 30 or 40 years back of the management, they have studied this subject as business policy, which now in end 80s, late 80s and early 90s gradually has been transformed as the strategic management. But there are certain differences between this business policy and strategic management. So that I want to make this doubt clear among the students, that business policy is a general management orientation. It tends primarily to look inward, concerned for integrating the corporation's various functional activities. But strategic management that also incorporates that integrative concerns of business policy, heavier environmental and strategic emphasis. It looks simultaneously, gives more importance to outward looks, which we call the extrovert, because ultimately the corporation has to survive in competition with other corporations, those who are in the similar business. And strategic management has tended to, that's why strategic management has tended to replace the business policy as a preferred name. There are various school of thoughts in the strategy. This is the mention that Henry Mintzberg and his collaborator, they have written a book on strategy suffering. So they have mentioned, it is also came in the paper in Harvard Business Review as an article, that 10 different school of thoughts. And it has a different orientation in every different school of thoughts. First is the design school. It is a process of conception. In fact, the first book on this area in a different name, like Leadership in the Organization, that has been written in 1957 by Selznick, who was the professor of management in University of California, Berkeley. He wrote this book and he has suggested what thought he has proposed in that book, that we call this design school of thoughts. The subject originated in that way, in a different name, and that is the process of conception. Next is that planning, originated by H. Edgar Ansoff. He wrote the first book in the name of Corporate Strategy in this World, and is published in 1965. That school we call the planning school of thought. It is a formal process of planning. There will be planning department. That planning department, they will look forward and find out where they want to take this organization in the next 5 or 10 years. Then positioning school, that is a process of fitting. You fit the organization in the competition, position it. Then entrepreneurial, visionary process. And basically this entrepreneurial process usually comes from the owner of the factory, owner of the organization. They visualize where they want to take. Then cognitive process, school, that is a mental process. Learning school, emergent process. Power school, process of negotiation. Cultural school, it is a collective process. And environmental school, it is a reactive process, because the way environment is changing and how the organization react to that kind of changes in the environment. Another is the configuration school, which we call the process of transformation. Organization needs to be transformed from one mode to the another mode, and that we call this configuration school. This is the one idea proposed by the Mintzberg and his collaborator, that identified as 10 different schools of thoughts in this strategy. Now, what strategic management tries to answer? Strategic management attempts to answer the following questions. What are the pattern of organization behavior in turbulent environment? Next is what determines the differences in the behaviors. Because in one industry, farm and industry, say in shoe business, if we consider shoe as an industry, then there are many players. At least in India, Bata was the dominant factor. Today also they are the dominant factor, but there are many other players today who are absent in 30 years back. They gradually came. One is the Liberty, Lakhani, Corona Shaw, many other such kind of firms we can mention, those who came into the picture. So how Bata will behave, how Liberty will behave, how Lakhani will behave, how Action Company will behave. And also there are foreign multinationals, those who are also coming, like Nike, Adidas, they are also in the picture. So the situation is getting changed and complex and turbulent. So what determines the differences in the behavior? Unless they behave differently than the way they used to behave 40 years back, they cannot survive, or they cannot make profit, they cannot maintain the growth in their organization. So third is that what factors contributes to the success and failure? There are many small firms are coming up in the shoe business. Some of them could able to survive. In fact, the Lakhani, Action, they have started as a small firm, but now they are the competitors. They also have a good amount of market share. They are surviving. At least for the last 10 years, Action has survived, Lakhani has survived. So how they are doing the business? So what factors contributes to the success and failure? Then fourth is that what determines the choice of particular mode of behavior? behavior in different times will behave in a different way. If you look at this behavior of the Bata, that has undergone a tremendous change. Bata used to manufacture only the cheap qualities of shoes. They were in the business, say up to 600 or 800 rupees of shoes. They were never in the four-figure price, above 1,000. But today, in the last 5 or 10 years, they are also in that picture. Whereas if you see the Woodlands, you don't find any Woodland shoes with 200 rupees. So what determines the choice of particular mode of behavior? In shoe business, shoe industry, there are many players. Different players are behaving in a different way. So what determines that particular mode of behavior? We can cite the example from automobile industry also. We have Skoda, which is above 10 lakhs car. There are price range 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs and 10 lakhs and above. There are so many in automobile industry, so many players, industries are there. How they are behaving? Their behaviors are different. They are because their target segment of the customer is different, their product is different, their price is different. So how they respond to that? So ultimately, what is the transition process by which organization move from one mode to another? These are the questions the strategic management tries to answer. Now we come to the another model, that ultimately what we understood is that till this lecture, till now, that any organization, they have to survive in the environment. So why not to term this kind of organization as the environmental serving organization? So we termed this organization as environment serving organization. Ultimately, any organization has to serve its environment, then only it can serve. So we termed as ESO. So there can be the two categories of ESOs, one for profit, another for not for profit. For profit, what are the characteristics? Goods producers, internally efficient, externally entrepreneurial, aggressive and profit motive. And not for profit, publicly owned, mostly our public sector undertaking. When it was created in the second 5-year plan, mid-50s, profit was not the criteria through which its efficiency will be judged. So it is a public government owned, that means publicly owned, providing service, internally bureaucratic, inefficient, externally unadventurous and public service. So you can see the two different categories of firms were created, but everybody has to serve the environment. But objectives are different. Although the distinction between private for-profit versus public not-for-profit organization is inadequate either for explaining behavior or for designing new socially responsive firms, but still we can say today, in the last, say from 1991 onwards, government is also expecting that public sector undertaking, they will make the profit. But when it was created, at that time it was not a motive. So how the objectives has changed, so company or the organization needs to transform and they have to respond to the changing environment by adopting a different mode of behavior. So how they will do it? That is the question definitely asked. So strategic management that attempts to answer these kind of questions. And if you see and look at this behavior of the firm, you will find that one of the great large public sector undertaking, BHEL, those who are in the business of manufacturing thermal power plant and hydroelectric power plant equipments, they have the corporate strategy or corporate planning department for the long time. And similarly, it has been emulated by many other public sector firms, those who have also the corporate planning department, which is the usual name in the industry. So everybody needs the resources, whether it is the profit, whether it is for not for profit. For profit firms, profit making firms, or these which we call these internally efficient, externally adventurous, entrepreneurial, they usually get the commercial transaction with the environment. They are all resources comes for the commercial transaction with the environment. But on the other hand, the not-for-profit firm, initially they used to that subsidy transactions. If there is any deficit, grants used to come from the government. By that way they used to manage their things. Now, what are the work of these ESOs? Irrespective of whether it is a for-profit or not-for-profit, there are the three distinct categories of work. First is the entrepreneurial work. That constitutes establishing a new product, services on the market, divesting from obsolete product and services, creating new product or services, identifying customers for them, finding ways to make product attractive to the potential customer. You look at the HMT. HMT are in the business, the actual name is the Hindustan Machine Tools. They used to manufacture the machine tools, which is called the mother of all machines. And they are still today they are also good. In between they started manufacturing the watch. And in mid-60s, they came up with the Janata watch. At that time it was priced only 80. And it was the most popular watch at that time. Till today it is also popular watch. But they are not in that watch business. They are not able to compete with many other firms. And this year, only a few days back, the government has granted around 100 crores for turnaround of HMT. And for turning around this HMT, definitely they will look for that what product they can sell, to whom they can sell, at what price they will sell, and how their competitors are behaving. After entrepreneurial work, then is the marketing work, selling and delivery of products and services to the customer. And then third is the operations work, converting input resources into finished product and services. And what we call the strategic work, entrepreneurial and marketing, as summation, that we call the strategic work. But today's scenario, something is manufacturing or operations is also considered as a strategic aspects. Now every such ESO's organization, environmental serving organization, it has also political transactions in every way. Three different political transactions. First is the entrepreneurial political work. You change the rules of the game and statesmanship. Who serves for them? All industrial houses, FICCI, Indian Chamber of Commerce. The government always consult them before budgeting, before placing the budget in the parliament. And what they do? Basically, they serve as a statesman for the industrialist. They try to modify or influence the government policies, which we call the rules of the game. Then marketing political work, lobbying or public relations. There are many firms. They get the order from another firm by lobbying. It is nothing immoral, but it is a task. The firm who could able to succeed, they will survive for a longer period. This is on the political work. And operations political work, information and materials essential for manufacturing and marketing. So if you can capture these things in a better way or earlier than your competitors, your success is guaranteed. Every ESO's performance has to be measured, and for that measuring the performance, we must have the measuring criteria. What are these measuring criteria? The effectiveness, for effectiveness ESO's activities, we have the three different criteria. First one is the degree to which the ESO's product or services respond to the need of the customer. The degree to which ESO's product and services respond to the needs of the customers. Our telecom departments, after the entry or opening the telecom field for its private entrepreneur, and so many mobile phone has entered into the market, the behavior of our telecom department is getting changed. So they are trying the degree to which the product and services responds to the needs of the customer, they are also trying, attempting to do it. The efficiency with which ESOs uses resources in supplying these needs. And third is the return on investment. Income from the commercial transaction minus cost incurred divided by the resources employed. Now, for purpose of comparison of the behavior and assessment of survival prospects, if ROI is continuously getting down or very, very low in comparison to your competitors, how one firm can survive? That gives an indication that company should take, that organization should take the different measures that to find out the other previous two criteria, whether they can fulfill it. If they fulfill these previous two criteria, there is a guarantee that ROI is going to increase. And third is the economic efficiency. That efficiency in converting your resources into a product or services. Now, for all these things, this is the preliminary area of this, what strategic management is to do it. So there is an organization direction. There are many languages, vocabularies we use in the strategic management subjects that we call the missions, starting with the missions and objectives. Just glance it through it. We have this inverted pyramid here. As you see inverted pyramids, in the top is the wider and the bottom is the narrower. So at the top there is a vision. It is a statement of the firm, organization, that about the vision. It is a broad statement. Then it is the mission, slightly narrowed down. Then objectives, then plans, policies, goals, strategies and goals. So ultimately it is narrowed down to a specific task. At the beginning we have the broader vision. Gradually we narrowed down it. Now what vision says? What do you want to create? It has the potential power to focus the collective energy of the insiders. Insider means the firm itself. They have to establish the vision and they have to work to fulfill all these visions. Features of the vision. It is a shared vision, shared by everybody, not by the top management only. If it is shared only by the top management, ultimately it will not be achieved. Convinces others. If others in your organization are convinced, then only it will be achieved. Change agent provides long-term direction and gives strong identity. We will come with certain examples. Any Tata enterprise, they gives this kind of strength. Leadership with trust. They want to be leader in every field, whichever field they are in. You see the steel, they are one of the leader. Automobile, they are one of the leader. IT business, TCS is the leader. Watch business, today they are leader. They have chemical plants also. Voltas is owned by them. So in every field, they are the leader. So leadership with trust. They give this kind of statement. Another statement, vision of a firm, Delta Airlines. Worldwide airline of choice. So everything, worldwide airline and choice. Realize this vision and build this position as world leader in aviation. See another statement given by the McDonald's. To be India's best quick service restaurant. Recently they have entered in our market. In Indians, they are existing in the European and American markets for a long time. But recently they have entered in this business in this country, in our country, and they give their vision is like this: to be India's best quick service restaurant. Maruti, they give advertisement in this way. Maruti Suzuki, count on us. The leader in the Indian automobile industry, creating customer delight and shareholders' wealth, the pride of India. This is the broader statement. All this statement that shows that it is a broader statement, and this broader statement has to be achieved by adopting that mission, goals, policies, all these things. So gradually we targeted towards the achievement of all these factors. Then comes the mission. What is an enduring statement of purpose that distinguishes one organization from another or similar organization. Mission statement declaration of an organization, reasons for being, why this firm is existing. That mission statement should include these things. Here slightly You see the Hindustan Lever, what they are telling. I am sorry that there is some spelling mistake. It will be HI only. Anyway, you see the statement. Unilever's mission is to add vitality to life. We meet everyday needs of our nutrition, hygiene and personal care with brands that help people feel good, look good and gets more out of life. Because Hindustan Lever is in the business of nutrition, hygiene and personal care. And they are the dominant player in our country. Features of mission statement. Focus on market rather than product. Achievable objectives. So you see the Hindustan Lever, what is their product? They have not mentioned. Rather they have mentioned in what business they are in. They have never mentioned their brand name, Sharp or any other soap name. They have just mentioned in that way. So we should also see that focus on the market rather than product. Achievable objectives, motivating nature, specific, distinctive, indicates components of strategies and objectives. Another examples of mission statement. You see the office equipment, two firms, I have quoted these two firms. One firm is in the office equipment manufacture, another firm is elevator operations. You see the elevator operations, what they are telling. Our mission is to provide a customer a means of moving people and things up, down and sideways over short distances and higher reliability than any similar enterprise in the world. They have not mentioned what is the name of their product. They are in the business of elevator. And they mention an elevator, what does it do? Usually it is in that purpose, moving the people and things up, down, sideways, over short distance with higher reliability than any similar enterprise in the world. Now coming to that again, characteristics of strategy and strategic decisions. Strategy is always concerned with the long term goal. Within next 5 to 10 years, where the organization will be. That is the purpose of the strategy. So first is the long term direction of the organization. Next, for effective positioning in relation to competitors so as to achieve advantages. In most of the cases, that particular organization or firm will not be alone in that business. There will be the many players. If that sector is lucrative for profit, definitely there will be many entrants. Today you may be alone, but in some day there will be the many more players, like what happened in the shoe industry. Same thing has happened in the shoe industry. Bata was alone. But during the last 30 years, many players have come, have entered in that field. So for effective positioning in relation to competitors so as to achieve the advantages. Then concern with the scope of organization's activities. Strategy can be seen as matching of the resources and activities of an organization to the environment. That we call the strategic fit. Usually the subject has originated with that idea, strategic fit. Even if you look at the Andrews definition, they are thinking about this environmental and the internal strength and weaknesses of the concern. So how to match the strength and weakness of the environment with these opportunities, strength, how it could be matched properly, that they have tried. Strategy can also be seen as building on or stretching an organization's resources and competences to create opportunities. That we call the strategy by stretch. It is a recent origin, this idea that strategy can also be seen as building on or stretching an organization's resources and competences to create opportunities. Strategy may require major resource changes for an organization because resource commitment is must. Then strategy strategic decisions are likely to affect operational decisions. Ultimately, strategic decision has to be implemented, and that implementation phase, operational decision has to be taken accordingly. So naturally, all your strategic decision will be definitely affected is operational decisions. And for implementing those operational decisions, you require the resources for that. So resource commitment also has to be there. It affects all kinds of operational decision, and at the same time ultimately it matters to the resource commitment. Strategy of an organization is also affected by the values and expectations of those who have power in and around the organizations. Any organization, it has a large number of individuals. Individuals are in group, and there exist many number of such groups. So some groups has a more power than others in the organization. So they try to shape, they create a value, a vision, a value for, and they expect something in return for that. Now you see what we are talking about this, that strategic fit and stretch, how these things can be mentioned. Aspects of the strategy, that is underlying basis of the strategy. In case of the strategic fits, that we call the strategic fit between market opportunities and organizational resources. In case of stretch, we call it as a stretch or leverage of resources to improve the value for money. Slightly different. It is not just exactly matching between these market opportunities and organization resources. Stretch of leverages of resources, we talk about the resources, and to improve value for money. Ultimately that is also the customer. Sometimes we call it as a resource based strategy. Then competitive companies advantages through, in case of fit, it is correct positioning, differentiation directed by market need. In case of the stretch, it is the differentiation based on competencies suited for creating market need. How all this how all players survive, find and defend a niche in case of the fit. Niche market, if you can serve, and then you will definitely survive. Change the rule of the game in case of the stretch led strategy. Risk reduction through portfolio of product of business. So you find most of the large firm, they are in the different kinds of business, dissimilar forms of business, product they are manufacturing. Like Tata, they are in automobile, they are in steel, they are in the IT business, they are in chemical business, they are in watch business, they are in refrigerator making business. But in case of the stretch, we call it a portfolio of competences. And corporate center invest in strategies of business units and subsidiaries and core competences. So this is about this leading edge of strategy, fit or stage. And just okay, we'll start from here. So 15 minutes break, isn't it?